Hello there and welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ngani Titan. This time on the part of the green team you're going to see what is pretty much considered to be a textbook example of how Westfield is supposed to be done. The conventional wisdom on Westfield is that the heavy tanks in particular should head north or west depending on whether they spawn on the southern or the northern side and fight over the hills northwest of the town. Any medium tanks that feels like it wants to accompany them can come up there, and light tanks can scout the ridgeline. The conventional wisdom also is that light and medium tanks should head down to the southeastern corner. There are some very good opportunities for light tanks for stealth spotting and passive scouting down at the southeastern corner, as well as there are some active scouting as well. Tank destroyers can deploy either at the edge of the valley supporting the push on the hills, or some of the more flexible, stealthier tank destroyers can go down to the southeast. But the bulk of the force should basically concentrate on the northwestern side of the map, because this is the northwestern side of the map that dominates the whole area. The theory is that you take the high ground where our medium tanks are at the moment, the Knight, the AMX CDC in front of me, and once you dominate that area you can clean out the tanks in the lower ground, the open field there where the enemy medium tank is pushing through at the moment, and you can also push down into the village. One of the things about pushing down into the village is that if you go past the area where the encounter cap circle is, if you go down as far as that and you're spotted by the tanks that are in the open field or along the northern edge of the map, you can be shot at from tanks that are across the valley over where that medium and heavy tank are at the moment. Now those medium and heavy tanks at the moment can't really spot anything or much across the valley, except this is right at the edge of the valley. If they're up around the village, up around this cap circle, or even that tank destroyer that's down there south of the cap circle, if that's a reasonably stealthy tank, it probably won't be spotted from across the valley. But on the other hand, there's a good chance that tanks along the northern edge can spot it, because well, it mightn't spot that one because the village is blocking it, but it would spot other tanks around the cap circle.
Enemies got us in their sights.
There's less cover from the north than there is basically from the south or east.
Destroyed one of our tanks.
On the other hand, tanks that are further back, say just northwest of the cap circle, or can still see tanks that are spotted across the valley but are effectively invisible. Two tanks that are across the valley, because they can't be spotted from across the valley, and unless they're spotted from this side of the map, they're effectively invisible. So they can fire across without much fear of returning. Now, we outnumbered the enemy force that was sent up here by 2-1, and since the bulk of them actually stayed back, we have destroyed them in detail. The SU-101 is making a run for it, but the two remaining tanks are over here on the ridgeline. To be honest, if the enemy force was that light, if they were going to send up those few tanks, they might have been better off actually staying at the edge of the valley, not attempting to contest the northwestern hills at all, but to go back here where the Tiger and the Rudy were, and to go maybe hold down along the valley edge. There's a few areas where they can go hold down. They wouldn't win, they wouldn't stop us, but they could slow us down enough that the tanks that are in the southeast might actually break through. However, since this is encounter, that breakthrough will be of limited utility to the enemy team. In a standard game, the cap circle is down around our spawn 1 area, and a breakthrough to the south can threaten the cap circle and would force us to respond. Now, however, the initiative is completely on our side. If we don't even have to go after them, we can just send a tank into the cap circle and force them to come out after us if they don't want to lose the game. So despite the fact that they're numerically pretty much the same, on par with us, The initiative and the strategic initiative in this game is now firmly in our quarter, and as long as we don't do anything stupid, we can't lose. Stupid being, I suppose, rushing across the valley into the guns on the other side. That sort of thing. We can exploit control of the cap circle by just popping into the cap circle and forcing tanks to come up and spot them like the T-44 is doing right now. So, and now our position is starting to pull ahead. We're starting to kill enemy tanks, and they're not killing any in return. T-44 still doing a brave job trying to spot into the cap circle. I'm being shot at by a tank that I can't see at the moment, but he's not doing a great job. He's probably only getting me visible on limited occasions. I don't think Sixth Sense has gone off, so I'm not sure whether he's just firing blindly or what exactly is the story. But he's up under observation now, the OI, and I've tracked him, and you know, it's just a matter of putting fire in. And that's it, he's finished. So the T-44 is making another run into the cap circle to try and stop the cap. But he's gonna have to leave because he can't stick around. There are too many tanks just coming for him. I decided it's time to just go for him and force the hand of other tanks, force them to appear if they want to intercept or save him. So I'm getting some fire from the southern end of the map as well, from across the valley. However, there's only 3 left, and now there's only 2 left, and those 2 are down there on the southern end of the map, so they're pretty much isolated. We pretty much know where they are. There's no real way for them to escape. They might get 1 or 2 of us if we arrive too soon, and I'm one of the slower tanks in some respects, especially when it comes to climbing those kind of hills. So I'm not likely to be the one that's going to arrive first. Just want to see if I can get the last piece of damage in. There's already a medium in relatively high ground. He's probably spotted from angles that I can't necessarily get a clear shot at him from. So that's it. It's pretty much game over. It's just a matter of formality now. Every tank the place is just closing in on that Oho, so even if he gets the first couple of tanks that arrive at his location, he's not going to retake the initiative and pull off a stunning victory or anything like that. Stunning victories in this type of game against this kind of odds are done by people who are current location unknown, and they're able to draw the team out over time and space and take them on in very small groups, so that you turn what is a 5-to-1 fight or a 4-to-1 fight to a series of 1-to-1 fights, preferably even fights where the other guy doesn't even know you're there. So how do we do? Over 2k damage, over 1000 block damage, so we get a steel wall, we get a 2nd class mastery, and that's it, folks. That's how you do Westfield Encounter. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you again soon.